I appreciate that, dude. Alright, let's fight this Locke before this Locke decides to fight me. Oh yeah, he's a Chaos Bolter. I can see it in his eyes. Bring it to the bash, I believe. Ugh. This guy's getting healed a lot. I don't like it. Oh, snap! Okay, straight boomkin. Oh boy, okay. Everybody just evaporated. Okay. That'll do. This guy's not evaporated yet. There we go. Gotcha. Gotcha. Blade and Soul is actually pretty fun. I feel like that's another game that probably deserves a little more love than it gets. It's a little... It might be like it's a little complicated for new players, I guess. I'm not sure. The playstyle is definitely a lot different than the traditional MMO's playstyle, but the combat was just super fun, so... I don't know. We'll see. Do I have rating? On this guy, I have 2508. 3s at least. I don't really do much other... I don't really do a lot of 2s or anything else. Oh, whoops. That was fail. Okay, I could charge either one of them. Is he like looking back at me? He's like, what a noob. Nah, he's just chilling. He's just chilling. Back over here. I'm gonna fear you. I can't. He's too fast. Nice. We got him. He's the speediest dude alive. Nice. Got him. We got him. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly. It matters. It matters how you express your opinion. The way, it's not only what you say, but the way you say things actually matters. And this, like, it sounds maybe like a little too metaphysical here, but like, the energy you put out into the world matters. The type of energy you decide to put out in the world matters, I feel. So even though you have the option to, like, if something's, you know, bumming you out, you have the option to put it out there any multiple ways. And this is even less metaphysical. Like, this is very true even for, like, Jenny and I's relationship. Like, there are times where I'm not feeling great. There are things that I'm not happy about, and I'll talk to Jenny about the things that I'm kind of bummed out about or things that I'm stressed about, and it actually stresses her out the way I say them. And it's not that I can't express my opinions to Jenny. That's like one thing that you could take out of that. It's like, okay, well, I get, if it stresses you out, I guess I just will never talk to you about what's stressing me out. But that's not what actually has to happen. All that has to happen is that you express them in a different way. Instead of like being like, oh, this is just so annoying, you can say, you know what, here's something that I was thinking about that I could do differently to have a more, like, fulfilling solution to whatever's going on, you know? So there's a big difference between putting out, even if it's like the same sort of thing, between putting out positive and negative energy. It makes a big difference. And the reason I cite that example is because it sounds a little metaphysical at first. It's like, but it's actually a little bit more clear when you think about it that way, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Being positive these days is not easy. Well, it's not popular. But if you get in the habit of it's not, it's like a way to, it's a way of being. And I know that I probably have an easier time staying positive than some other people, because I feel like I have a lot more positive things in my life to sort of support that. But even when things are more difficult, I feel like the way that I decide to think about, the way I decide to speak about things, even if it's my thought, the way I share it with the rest of the world, even affects me. So, even though it might not be popular to be positive, it's a habit, and you get better at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, pessimism is almost like a form of passivity. Because assuming that, like, but it doesn't have to be, though. But a lot of times, pessimism these days has passivity implied. So you say, yeah, I have a negative opinion about it, and it's not going to be any different, so I'm not even going to try. That's kind of what pessimism usually means. You can be, like, an active pessimist, where you're like, where like worst case scenario situations, like I really do think that if I ever leave a candle on in my house, that it is gonna burn down for sure. Like that's kind of like a pessimistic. That's kind of a pessimistic way of looking at it. Like, you know, assuming the negative. But if you always make sure that you don't have candles on before you leave your house, that's probably like a good thing to do. You know? Or you could just be like the pessimist where you're gonna be like, well, if I ever get candles and leave, then I'm gonna leave them on, and my house is gonna burn down, so I'm never gonna buy candles. But then you don't get to enjoy the smell of a candle or something. That's a very small example, but still. No, not passive aggressive. You're taking out the passivity part of it. You can be pessimistic without being passive aggressive. You know what I'm saying? But if you're willing to be like positive in a way that like you feel like you have some say in how things go, or you think that rather than dwelling on the bad things that could happen, you're going to do everything in your power to make sure the good things happen, that matters. I think one of the best examples of that in my own life is this past winter when I had my physique competition. I had my first time ever hosting WoW tournaments and stuff like that. I made an active effort to try and stay positive as best as I could and share that positivity, just like try to radiate it, you know? And I feel like it made a big difference in terms of how not only how I felt, but how I performed in those really big, important things that I had to do. Don't kill him, please. Thanks. I ended up winning my show, and I ended up doing what I consider to be a pretty damn good job hosting at BlizzCon and stuff like that. So, I don't know. That's where what I'm saying, sort of, I'm able to believe in that. And that's not the first time that I've ever sort of experienced that. It's just one of those really clear moments. Because people ask me on the stream, like, how do you stay so positive all the time? There are times where I'm not feeling great. For sure. I'm not always super happy about everything. It's just, I make a choice on how I'm going to respond to whatever's happening and how I feel. And I found more often than not, the choice that I found more helpful is being more positive. If that makes sense. When's the next BlizzCon? It's November 4th and 5th, I believe. So even though we're talking about this a lot, I feel like it does come back to what we can do within the WoW community to be a little more positive in terms of our outlook, in terms of the way we express opinions, even if they are negative opinions. Because it's not like we might not make the skeleton of the game. We may not have direct control over, like, you know, constructing the video game, but we certainly have control over how we decide to affect the community of the world and of the World of Warcraft. You know what I'm saying? Look at this guy's damage, man. I didn't do any damage. I just execute everybody. GG, guys.